Hello everyone, it is day 6 and 7 of Ethany's 31 Days of Tarot Challenge for 2020. And today I'm going to be talking about what decks I'm anticipating in 2020. And so I'm going to do a little bit of a different take on this because I bought a fair amount of decks last year and the year before and the year before. And so this year I'm really not even watching what's coming out. I don't really have anything on pre-order or Kickstarter, or I don't even really know what's coming out in 2020. But I did get quite a few decks at the end of 2019 in November and December. And I have not been able to spend adequate time with any of these decks. So these are the decks that I'm anticipating in 2020, anticipating working with and looking at and enjoying. So I thought I would start with tarot first. And I think out of this group, the one that I got first was This Might Hurt. This is a beautiful deck. A little bit of a cartoony art style, but it hits the points that I really like in a deck. It normalizes diversity. It is inclusive. It has beautiful, even just with these few cards, you can see these gorgeous holographic edges. The cardstock is delightful. The cards make that like whooshy sound when you, rub them against each other. I just love it. So I thought I'd show a couple of their cards. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, but this deck is wonderful, and I intend to use this more for client readings than for myself because of the diversity. So no matter who sits down across from me, to get their cards read, should be able to see themselves in this deck. We can see here, there's a lovely group of women. Here we see an older guy. Here we see an older woman as the hermit. Here we see some people of color as the lovers. Here we see a woman that's not a skinny mini. Here we see some children, so elders and children. Here we see a lovely family group from a baby to a white-haired grandfather. Again, here we see someone who's got sort of a normal-looking body. Another elder as the King of Cups. Here's a beautiful Justice card. This Empress card I love. Yay, she's not pregnant. But she isn't someone you're going to mess with. She's got a great attitude going. Look at this fabulous High Priestess. Queen of Wands. So I feel like there's different gender expressions. Again, here's the King of Swords, an elder. Ending with the World, a beautiful, voluptuous woman as the World. So this deck makes me happy because it doesn't just picture the world as made up of skinny, young, white chicks. And that is so great to see. Another deck, this deck I pre-ordered, and I don't think it was a Kickstarter. I think it was just a pre-order. And I did order the deluxe edition. And so it's the Modern Witch. And again, it's diverse. It shows a whole different range of people. Although, to be fair, it is pretty much female expressions of people. So here we see the Magician, High Priestess. Oh, I love this Empress. Gorgeous. The Emperor, Strength, the Hermit, and the Star. So we can see a variety of different looking people. Thank you very much. Here are some swords. Oops. I show the Six of Swords because it's one of my favorite minors. And then this is the iconic card that started it all. I think originally this was a meme and it said, "Everything's fine." I'm still on my cell phone texting even though I have 10 swords sticking out of my back. And I guess the creator, Lisa Sturl, was urged on when folks saw this to go on and create a whole deck, which she did. And it was published by Liminal 11. Here's some other minors. Oh, love that. Two of Wands, Three of Wands, Three of Cups. And this one I show because on her shirt it says "over it," which I just love. I really wish I could have a sweatshirt that said "over it," but how perfect for the Four of Cups. Here's the King of Cups, Three of Pentacles, a lovely family scene in the 10, and fabulous Queen of Pentacles. So I love that. Great expression of a wide variety of people. I did mention on another video that I did that one of the goals that I have, or one of the things I'm undertaking for 2020, is to study the Thoth deck. And so I got the larger size US Games version of it. And I'm reading a book to go along with it, and we shall see. I'm not sure how I'm going to get along with this deck, but I'm going to give it a go. The deck that I was anticipating in 2020 actually arrived before I made this video, and it is Carrie Paris's The Relative Tarot. I did back this on Kickstarter, and it's actually 2 decks. An oracle deck to do ancestral work, and then a regular tarot deck. And as she usually does, Carrie knocked it out of the park. I really got this because I like to try to do some ancestral healing work in 2020. And so I really mainly backed this for the oracle deck, but this tarot deck, I really didn't think I would use it at all. First of all, the cardstock. I want to pet it. Oh my goodness, it's fabulous. And the edges are this beautiful, deep mahogany brown, gorgeous, and they look beautiful with the backs. And I thought I would just show a few. The cardstock, again, it makes that sound when you rub the cards against each other. So here's the Magician, this High Priestess. This deck has a sense of humor. Some of the portrayals just make me smile. Here's the Empress, the Emperor. And if you take a look at this Hierophant, you can see that they've just superimposed the Rider-Waite-Smith Hierophant outfit right over top of the picture that they picked for this. And the thing one of the things I really, really like about this deck is there's a number of choices for many of the cards. So for the lovers, there's your standard sort of male and female, and then there's one with 2 females and one with 2 males. And so, you know, you can fill it in whatever works for you or the person you're reading with. The wheel has a female and a male. Many of the cards have different choices, which I just love. So it makes this deck usable and positive for most folks. So I'm really looking forward to working with this deck in 2020. And When you purchase this deck, it came with also 5 classes that are going to address the Oracle, starting I think the next to the last week in January and going for the first 3 weeks into February. So I'm really looking forward to those classes. So that is those are the tarot decks I'm really looking forward to working with in 2020. And I also got some Oracle decks, and I'm wanting to study astrology, and last year my big hit it out of the park Oracle deck was the Living Wheel astrology cards by Patrick Fogarty that I use on a daily basis, and it's helped me become familiar with astrology more than I was before. But I saw this one and I thought, I think I'm going to get that. It was really reasonable. And the book is great. It's by Ruby Warrington. And then the cards cover the astrological signs and the houses. And let me see what else. The planets and the aspects. And so I'm not going to read with this deck. I'm going to use it to study. And I think right at the beginning, it shows, let's see, how to read a birth chart or your natal chart. So I'm kind of excited about that because I do have my chart and have no clue how to read it. Another Oracle deck that I got in 2019 that I'm going to work with in 2020 is the Spirit Doodles, and I have talked about this several times already on my channel. This is fabulous. L. Ron Mills did such a great job. As he says, he's not much of an artist, so he just doodled, but I can say he's a wonderful writer because the guidebook is delightful and insightful. And so far, the few cards I've pulled have been really kind of hitting my heart and soul in terms of what I'm learning, and I think they're going to be great for personal growth. The next deck that I got last year that I have not had any time to work with is the Pathfinder Oracle deck by Andrew Schwartz. He is from Skull Garden. And I got this because I loved the art, but also it's square, but it's to be considered to be a diamond-shaped deck. And I don't read reversals in tarot, but I love round decks and square decks, and in this case, I was intrigued by a diamond-shaped deck. The guidebook has all the different expressions of the card, so the 4 different ways it could be pointing. In the regular expression, the reversed to the left, which is fully engaged, and to the right is fully engaged, and to the left is not yet engaged. So here's a few of these cards, which I think are, lovely. This is Door, Moon, beautiful, Road, Bridge, Cup, Home, UFO, I love that one, Mountain, and Cosmos. Beautiful artwork, beautiful deck, and I am really looking forward to working with all of these decks as we go on to 2020. And I'm not going to kid myself. I'm sure that I will buy decks in 2020. But right now I'm just not anticipating any. And I'm really anticipating working with these decks that I got in November and December, and I'm looking forward to them. So the stalker card I had was a lovely card, and it was mainly, I would say, the last quarter of 2019, so October, November, December, and it was the Ace of Cups, one of my favorite cards in the tarot deck. And here I just thought I would show a couple different expressions of that card from a variety of decks, and love seeing it expressed with a teacup because I'm a big tea drinker. So those are the decks I'm anticipating working with in 2020, and my fabulous stalker card for the end of 2019. And I will see you tomorrow when I'm excited to be talking about tarot books. Ciao.